What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to our Week 8 NCL weekly, or sorry, I think it's Week 9. I always fuck it up.
Week 9? You fuck this up every time.
Week 9 of our NCL weekly digest. We have our beautiful co-host, as you can see, per usual, Captain Slinky.
Internet, do you want a cookie?
Oh, God. And then we have, of course, our second co-host, our resident monkey himself, Chris.
It's me!
Yes, sir. And as you guys have already heard, we have our usual special guest, Mystery Cool Dude.
What the fuck is up, pretty people? My name is Mystery, and I'm glad to be back.
And we have a first-time visitor to the weekly digest, the anti-regime stand up, as we have your hated person here, but we have Will joining us.
I'm here as the voice of the 1%.
Yeah, the 1% of people that don't like you.
As you can see, the standings took quite a shuffle this last week. Things are very, very, very different from when you guys last saw them. So things are looking very saucy, like we said, going in. Definitely some really big standings movings, as we have now our number one current leader, Mystery Cool Dude, followed closely by actually Chris with the second seed, and the Miami Heat of Will falling all the way down to third. Because
things you absolutely love to see. Love.
And then I will point out a sneaky team that has been very lucky, but is currently has been residing in this 4th, 5th place now for a while. But Buxton, who's having a very quietly very good year, a lucky year, but a good one.
I was gonna say there is definitely so much luck involved in that year.
There is, but it is very sneaky that his Zapdos
He's still playing better with the new team.
That's true, and his Zapdos is in fact one of the kill leaders right now.
Zapdos is the menace.
Yes, it is 16-3, I think, right now. So it is breaking in. Followed closely by me and Tristan, and then Taylor followed closely by Slink, which are right there. As you can see, a little bit of spoiler alert: Slink has already played his game, and it's been registered in there.
There's a reason for that. We're not going to get into it right now.
Yeah.
But
So basically that. But we're gonna hop straight into games because we had some very, very good ones. So a not so great one was Mystery versus Steph here in our.
I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, yes, but
of course you did.
Yeah, personally,
it was pretty agony for the rest of us. So we see it was just a lot of plays of, again, the Steph. I'm gonna call it the Steph syndrome from now on, of making the wrong plays at the wrong times. It didn't make sense. The Gardevoir tracing Earthquake the Intimidate on the Lando was pretty cool.
For sure, that was cool.
Yeah, that was a sweet play.
That was cool, but I think that was
But that would have been better on not switching into an Earthquake and taking that.
Yeah, he still took 2/3.
Yes.
Yeah, he took 66, but if he brought it in, I probably wouldn't have stayed in and just caught a Hyper Voice, which by the way, my whole team got 6-0'd by Gardevoir.
I want to point out though, if that Terrakion wasn't Scarf or whatever it was, and it was Weakness Policy Rock Polish, he might have just won right there when you Photon Geysered him on turn 10.
So Chestnut lived any one hit at +2 Life Orb. So even if he was SD Life Orb, I still lived a Close Combat or Poison Jab.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Does Terrakion get any flying moves? Does he get Aerial Ace or something?
It does get Aerial Ace.
Okay, I mean, I guess if he was Aerial Ace, then if he has every single move, then sure.
He would have had Close Combat, Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, Rock Polish, and he would have been fine. But yeah, I think that would have been really cool. But yeah, it was just a one-sided game. I'm not really going to talk too much about it. It's Steph syndrome again of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's just what all of his games feel like. And I'm hoping he can fix that. I think it's just it's funny to say this, but usually it's experience. But Steph's had a lot of experience, so I think it's just learning at this point, of remembering and learning. Because I know Steph kind of talked about it. We actually got a little bit of insight from it that he panics and falls onto a lot of his old bad habits when he gets when something doesn't go perfectly the way he predicts it to go in the game, which ends up happening a lot in a Pokemon game just because of RNG and stuff like that.
That's kind of the game.
But
I will say too, turn 14, I fucking misclicked and I went into Lando. I meant to go into Mawile, so that was fun. But I mean, I don't think Steph played terribly. I just,
Yeah, and
it's just Steph. I don't know.
No, I'm also seeing too. I'll let also Will talk a little bit about it if he'd like to. What I'm starting to see now with Steph is a lot of like, I understand it, but I see a lot of giving up where I see copy paste the sets from weeks previous. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as well. But I don't have much to add to it. Will, would you have anything for that one?
That might make sense for this one, because my whole impression was Steph didn't bring one Mon that could take a hit, because he just like threw out 3 Mons basically like right away. It's if you're playing hyper offense, that's one thing, but unfortunately you couldn't get any momentum either. So it's kind of
playing hyper offense with no momentum is probably like the worst thing you could do. Yeah, I look. I get he's copy pasting some sets. I understand. He's also 0-9 minus 42. I'm not going to criticize him that much. His season's over, and I'm not expecting him to sit down and build for 2 hours for a battle that I'm not going to hype myself up too much. But obviously, we're in different tiers in terms of battlers. So I love Steph, and I'm not going to criticize him for that. He brought some sets that he thinks will work, and that's all I really got.
I will say though, seeing a Nidoqueen die to an Iron Head from a Mega Wawa was
that was a high roll. I'll give him that. It was a high roll.
That was wild.
It was still kind of nutty. Like high roll or not, that was kind of nutty. Just seeing it die, I was like, wow.
It was I think it had 28% chance to kill, and I saw that. I'm like, wow, it just fucking died. I'm like, that's cool.
All right.
Very cool.
Don't think there's much to do for that one. I'm going to move on to Chris's game, which was
let's go.
First game. It was just an onslaught. Chris just kind of dropped Taylor on his neck in this game.
He destroyed this man, and
this was one of the it was just a drawn out slow 6-0, and it was just like. Yeah. I think what Taylor lost here, Taylor definitely lost in Team Builder. It just he had nothing. He had nothing for like.
I won't talk a ton. I just want to say one thing about this battle. Turn 1, I think, was the worst play of this game. His only way to kill this fucking shaman was to like either kill with Moltres, like somehow it stays in, or if Kartana got a boost and then was able to click knockoff. When he clicked knockoff that first turn, there was nothing he could do to kill this shit other than Moltres.
I want you to know too that Shaman was full Fizz Death, so Shaman would have had to be in like at half, even with the +1. Shaman was
I'm sure,
everything.
Yeah, but like at least he'd have a chance. But like he's never staying in a Moltres, so the shit was never going to die. Yeah, I don't know. I think Taylor played way too straightforward, and it cost him.
It cost him.
Yeah. I actually want to talk about that. Did anybody think it was weird that this was like the most standard sets that Taylor has like ever brought? Like,
it seems like this season when he brings standard, he fucking loses.
Yeah.
And then like Taylor
has to play offsets because.
Well, that's how Taylor plays too. If you've noticed, like he loves being prediction heavy. He loves like to surprise people, and like that's a decent way to play. It's just like I feel bad because we've been harping him all season to like, hey, it's okay to be natural sometimes, but it just feels like when he tries to do that, he gets a slow, drawn out 6-0, and it's like, oh, well. Yeah. I was gonna say like, but the thing is too. I do want to say this is the fact of like he brought normal sets, but I feel like he brought all the wrong Pokemon. Like he didn't bring Naga, and that was like
turn 16 by the way was very fire for Chris. He clicked Toxic on the incoming Moltres. That was fire. Like predicting the switch on Dracovish. Very good play.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think it was good play even if Dracovish stayed in, just because Dracovish would have.
Yeah, but he died to 2 Fish's runs.
Yeah. But
Chris played well all around.
Yeah, he really
used
did.
all my brain power.
Also, turn 23, living the Smart Strike on 1%.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a little bit of Chris luck that Chris needs, so it's based, all right. God was like, okay, Chris, you're gonna win this game, but let's give you the 6-0. So
I did make one accidental plays when I went in the pincer instead of Terragapult. I think it was like turn 13 or something when I both switched out. I could have set up his Dragapult and swept, I believe.
No, nice. It was really late. He had like
it was later then.
He had like 3 Mons left and it wasn't set up. It was just the fact that Dragapult killed everything that came on the field.
Oh, Dragapult just killed everything.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fine. You still 6-0'd, and Pincer got a couple kills,
6-0,
so...
But...
I mean, it is what it is.
Just
I'm
rock
still...
left Dracovish.
Oh, yeah, and then... I mean, that's his one weird thing that he brought was the Rock Blast Dracovish. What was Rock Blast for?
That's actually... No, it's a cool set because, like, Pincer, if it's sub...
Pincer.
Oh, if it's sub. Okay. That makes sense. But, yeah, I don't really have too much else to say to this. I like Togekiss killing
not gonna
DNC.
lie.
That was kind of funny.
But turn
That was
36 was heat, let me tell you.
Wait, what was turn 36?
I'm almost
The
there.
double miss.
Oh, yeah, he left
the
you.
double miss.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's just really
There's
a
me
really
on
solid
turn
game for
38,
Chris.
great turn 36.
He is now 7-2, which, you know, if you would have told me before the season, I probably would have laughed in your face. So, you know, good shit, Chris. You love to see
yeah,
it.
I'm very, very proud of Chris because I don't think anybody expected him to do this well. And it's not like anything against you, Chris. It's just this is your first ever league, so.
I'm gonna say it's your first league, and a lot of the people in here are really good.
And like you've
A
given
lot of experience.
You've given the two people that are here that are very top contenders with you up there trouble. I know, like, I was with Will when he was battling you. Of course, not helping him or anything, but I was in the house, and I know that he was stressing about what things were.
Played for me.
Huh? I played for you? Oh, shit, you weren't supposed to tell
Yeah.
them. Will.
Oh no! Yes, that's probably why
It's okay.
he
The one
loves getting
person, the
in.
one person here you haven't faced is looking forward to it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, true. That week 11 matchup looking hella nice.
I'm scared.
That is
Rumble in
very
the jungle,
scary.
monkey fat, monkey.
Monkey
All right,
battle.
well, I'm actually going to speed through most of these games. That one was long as hell. I'm going to try and not be on that one. Too long. We're going to go to, you guys get to see that little spoiler right there. Sorry, because I'm rushing. But this was
He's
the
rushing.
Monster and Slink game. This game was kind of the opposite of Chris's, to where it was just Slink kind of dominated from the... Well, I mean, Chris kind of dominated from the beginning. I didn't mean to say Chris's, but I guess Mystery and Steps.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Slink just had control.
By the way, that turn 1 sludge wave was a low roll.
Yeah, I don't know why he stayed in.
I had an
I-
80% chance to kill with that sludge wave.
I don't know
That
why
was
he
easy.
stayed in. And then
I guess he predicted Volt Switch, but, like,
But, like, why?
I don't know.
Why would he not do Sludge Wave? He's taunt.
There's no ground type.
So...
Mhm.
Look,
Which
I'm
I
not
did
agreeing
think-
with the play, but I mean,
I
shit,
think
like...
I think that what I do really like though was I really like the taunt Thundy. I thought that was really,
yeah, that
really
was
cool.
that was a good lead.
That was cool.
It's like I said,
Yeah.
it's just like... when
Oh, I
Thundy
forgot. I
stops
have to
being
go
a good
hyper
lead-
fast on this because we have the cum jar sitting here and just
Oh
forever.
my
True.
god, just sitting here for like 17 turns.
All right, I don't have anything to say, so I'll let Will say
It's-
something
yeah,
while
it's
we
here
sit
for,
here
like,
and
20
watch
turns.
rest happen 8 times.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a dominant game. Monster took some. He probably took maybe 2 or 3 unnecessary risks right away in the beginning
There
of the battle.
is
that-
one thing that I will bring up at the end that I don't know why he didn't click it earlier.
Well, we can just say it now, but I know you're thinking about the
Oh.
counter on Slowbro.
He has counter on Slowbro. At no point during this whole Bronzong thing does he ever click it.
I could not
Two
believe
hit-
that.
It would have 2-hit KO'd. That's why
I was sitting in
like,
call
go for,
with
like bulk up with Zarude.
Well, what I thought he should have done was because you let yourself get till around half or like a little bit less than half. I think counter had a chance to kill at that point if you got like a high roll.
It would have
And
done
I would have just pressed it right there.
55 to 60.
Yeah, so I don't know why he never pressed it. That's
He absolutely could have destroyed my Bronzong, but he just didn't click counter.
and it was just kind of
He
over
kept
from there.
clicking Scald and shit like that. I just like
Yeah.
you kind of set him up enough, and then he waits till the Zarude hits him to click it, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
like, and then I'm like, all right, well, Zarude 2-hit KOs. Ice Beam doesn't kill me, so I'll just go for a Power Whip into a Darkest Lariat.
Well, and then Monster was upset that he didn't bring Milotic for the Melmetal, so he didn't bring Melmetal. Like, he expected Milotic would be here, so he's like, oh, I just won't bring Melmetal.
Well, the thing
I'm
is,
sorry,
like,
I
Melmetal
disagree
gets,
with that thinking completely.
Well, like
100%.
even if the Milotic is like, let's say defensive like Flame Orb, like Thunder Punch is still doing a chunk.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
care.
no, he was afraid of Rocky Helmet, like for the double
I mean,
iron
I
badge.
get that, but,
Bronzong
like-
was 100% the answer to Melmetal.
You bring
Because
leftovers or something, you know?
in Trick Room, it's slower, and I get an Iron Defense, and it only does maybe 20% with an Earthquake.
But then he brought a Delmise, and he also has knockoff Rillaboom on this team. As soon as Bronzong gets knocked off, then Delmise can't do anything because it was Poltergeist, and that doesn't do anything if you don't have an item. So I think that's bad prep. I'm sorry. Like, your ways of killing Bronzong were stalling it out after you click a knockoff. Like,
all right, I think this game was really controversial and stuff with just monster hitting and team prep and stuff like that. But all in all, I think just Slink out prepped in the team builder, out prepped in pre-game, and just outplayed in regular game. And I don't think there was much to it.
Totally agree.
And then we'll move on to this game that some people are going to get very passionate about, but I have Will versus Bucks up here.
Absolutely. Let me say something real quick, Will. I'll let you have the rest of the floor. Buxton baby, thank you. You know what? We were sitting there, we're like, fuck, we need someone to beat Will. Just give us a chance.
I will say, me and Chris were cheering for Buxton because it was like the underdog, and I really want to see Buxton do well. And I was just like, there were so many times where like, my heart just went up so high and then dropped into my stomach in this game.
Yeah, I was in the car driving home and watching this, and it's just a heart attack roller coaster of like, I'm thinking Buxton's playing well to thinking he's playing ass cheeks, and it just kept going back and forth, and he pulled it out with a little bit of luck. So
he would have like, I'm gonna let Will take over. I'm gonna play the game, but
sure.
I'm gonna Will take over. But there was so much where it was like, whoa, Buxton has like Will on the ropes right now. All he has to play is like straightforward right now, and he has Will on the like. Will can't do much here, and then he'll do something like let something die or let something take a hit that was unnecessary. And I was like, no, you're letting him back in the game. You can't do that. Like, please. I was so scared.
I will say though, the metal sound Throat Spray Zapdos was awesome.
Fire.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That was
awesome.
That was sweet.
All right, Will, the floor is all yours for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I got cheesed.
I absolutely love to see it. Yes, sir.
It was cool. I had fun. Buxton loves rain. Like, I can't tell you how many times Buxton and I have played just like on our Switches or 3DSs, and he always builds like a rain team with every new game. So very familiar with the Buxton rain scheme. I've also lost to it quite a few times. So, I thought Buxton played well. He brought the Zapdos thing really caught me off guard. I thought that was really good. I don't know. The match there's some hacks and all that, but everybody's bound to catch one of those games, probably once per season or something like that. So, all in all, I thought he played pretty well, and he came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he hacks you a little. Like, he definitely hacks you, no question about it. But you've had a few of those games yourself. The clock turns, as I like to say. So, all in all, I thought it was a really solid game to watch. It was really entertaining, back and forth. Just even with the hacks, I just really enjoyed this game, and Bucks played well. So.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say about it is one thing that I'm surprised is that the Gyro Ball did not kill the Mega Sceptile right away. I was shocked. I thought that thing was dying. I was like, look, he lives one, and if he's Gyro Ball right now, it's dying, and it just didn't. And I was like, I was so scared for Buxton. I was like, this is gonna be scary.
My main thing about Buxton for this game was Swampert switch-ins did not exist. It was only Corviknight.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even like in rain. A liquidation was just shredding that thing a new butthole. I'm sorry. That thing was taking at least 50 from a liquidation.
Also, I like that Will was Icicle Crash because of Zapdos and Ferrothorn. He could have been maybe protective pads, but that still worked out fine.
No, I thought it was cool. I liked the scarf. He was the fastest thing on the field, and it allowed him to get the one flinch that he did get, which I will tell you right now, that was the second thing I was going to say, was as soon as he stayed in and pressed Icicle Crash, I was like, it's flinching this Mega Swampert, and it did. And I was like, yep, there we go.
In fairness, that flinch didn't matter. My way to win at that point was setting up with Mew, so Swampert's health was kind of irrelevant.
Well, Will, you know what I was scared of? I thought you were
What?
I thought if you were agility, power, meter beam at the end there, you won. Or just no, it was at the turn where you had one turn of rain left, and the Zapdos was out against Mew. And if you were Meteor Beam there, I was like, it's over. He just wins.
Yeah, the one last turn of sand where, by the way, he crit a Hurricane insane.
No, 100%, yeah.
Like,
Absolute goat.
I don't care who you are. That's ridiculous.
I also hate the fact that freaking I hate it because Chris was saying it, he's like he's gonna do it. And I was like, no, he went for that one hurricane on the Electros just because he wanted to land it in the rain. And I was like, why? Just press Thunderbolt. If he would have swapped, it would have been terrible.
Yeah, no, if he would have went hard Gigalith and missed, that would have been like kind of tough. I mean, I guess it doesn't really change because Thunderbolt killed anyway, so whatever. But yeah, I mean, I thought this is definitely like up there, probably like top 7 or 6, maybe even top 5 game of the year. Like it's definitely up there. This was solid. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Had the best ending possible too.
Yeah, it was fun. It sucks to lose, but I had fun playing. It was cool.
Yeah, no, I like the game a lot too. But yeah, I just finished up that game, so we will move on to Aaron versus Smith. Yes, that's the game. Smith.
Yep.
And this game was just like we had like the weird Smith plays that I guess like are in every Smith game, but I don't really. I have to remember this game too. I'm gonna put this on fast, but
well, I mean, while you're thinking about it, I do know. Ironically, I didn't help Aaron build, but he wanted me to mock with him, so I built a mock on my phone and played him. And I led Registeel, and he said, "No, restart." He doesn't ever lead Registeel. I just want to say that he did lead that, so fuck you, Aaron. Over
Also,
the rest of the game though was just solid.
Turn 19. If he had clicked Dragon Dance instead of Substitute, he would have just swept.
Turn 19.
I think he had a lot of chances with Mega Gyarados to just sweep the entire team, and he played around it well. I'm not gonna say he didn't, but I
oh yeah, weird. I was so confused why he clicked sub there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was odd. For sure.
You would have outsped the Hawlucha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then he had to switch out, go to Zygarde, and play that fucking game of like Coil plus Bulk Up back and forth. Which, by the way, if this was like SD Hawlucha, been kind of interesting, but you know, it wasn't. So.
It was cool.
And then what? Zygarde just kind of.
I will say though that I did like the Bulk Up Hawlucha from Smith. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Because usually, I honestly, I've never seen a Bulk Up Hawlucha. I always see Swords Dance and or like the Power Herb set, but like I thought that was cool. So I mean, I did see the whole ass
mid game. Oh, you can.
No, I was just gonna say he did have a whole ass Comfey, so I thought it was like, oh, it's just gonna kill like maybe the Zygarde and then Comfey's gonna come in. But if he would have pressed Acrobatics, which I think he should have, the Comfey would have died, and then that would have been scary. Dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have probably gotten at least like 2 more kills. Mm-hmm. And with Drain Punch, maybe 3. Yeah, that could have been like the game.
But Will, did you know anything from Smith's side of any of this?
Yeah, we talked his team over. It was really just trying to get the Hawlucha in, but unfortunately he didn't kind of chip enough before doing that. So yeah, I thought it was a good game. I was surprised to see the Toxic come out so late on Zygarde. I thought that would be kind of like what he did turn 1 with Zygarde.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. About like how the Zygarde kept
like
coiling. Yeah, he kept coiling, and then I was like, maybe he's just set up. And then he was toxic, and then I was like, why? Why didn't he do this earlier?
The clicking the Toxic like 5 turns into that was definitely super weird. I was like, oh, you have that.
It worked out for him eventually. It worked out for him eventually, but it just felt like way too long. Like it felt drawn out. Mm-hmm. But
you gave yourself a chance to lose by not clicking that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's not much to say about that. I think there's only one last game. Is it just me? Yep. I think this game was low-key probably the best out of the week. This game was great. Well, I also played it, but I thought this game was amazing. So I'll let you guys talk about it first, and then I like your thoughts and all that, and then I'll kind of go on my little rant of what I was doing and thinking.
I don't know why Tristan stayed in turn 1.
Yeah, I don't either.
He has a Mandibuzz. Like I get that it gets Rock Blast, but like it also gets knockoff, and you just let it take. There's
no reason to not knock that first turn, and I don't know why he stayed in turn 5 with the +1 Grimmsnarl.
Yeah. Again, there's a Grimmsnarl in front of you. He just lets it catch a play rough. Like he lost 2 of his big time Mons the first 6 turns of the game, and I think both were preventable at least.
Well, what I will say though, he put the toxic up, which was cool for him, but like he really did not have a swap in to play rough because his Swampert like needed to be there for my Gengar.
Well, a great swap in would have been Slowking, but he let that die.
Well, yeah, that of course, but that was dead. So I mean, but yeah, that was the big thing for me was killing those 2 walls really early. But yeah, Will, did you have anything to say about that or this game that you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good game. I thought this game was a lot more dominant than a 2-0, which is how it ended up. But to me, I mean, you kind of controlled the whole match. I thought the Grimmsnarl was really cool. That set obviously put in a lot of work. At the end there, I thought you were just
you cut out a little bit, Will.
You cut out a bit there.
Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
I was just saying I thought you were gonna like clean up the whole game with Celesteela at the end there, which is why I say it felt a lot more dominant than a 2-0. But yeah, all things considered, I thought it was a well played game by you. Tristan probably made some mistakes, but yeah, a big win nonetheless.
I was gonna say the biggest mistake I saw was I think me and Chris were in call for this game, and like turn 23, I was like, okay, if he sets up the sword stance here and this is not a Scarf Kira, he just destroys him.
So actually, that was the biggest mistake by me. I will be 100. I had one of my tired James blunders. Like, luckily it wasn't a lose the game tired James blunder, but Chris knows, and actually Slink knows a little bit too. I was exhausted. I had just worked like all day, and I came home and then built and then battled immediately after. That is all I did that day. Excuses my ass. I literally did nothing but work all day. But so I knew he was at like. So he was at the 1%, and I 108 million% forgot about
You forgot about
Rough-Skin. I forgot about Rough-Skin, that he was just gonna kill himself. And so my thought process was I was still terrified of Scarf Kyurem, because Scarf Kyurem could still like do something, because I wasn't focused by his Gengar. So when I saw the Mien shot, I was like, I'm gonna get off a scale shot, so I outspeed it, and then I could scale shot it again and hopefully kill or do enough damage for Gengar to come in and kill it. So that was my thought process for that part. I should have just Swords Dance, taking the best of the situation that I was given, and then Garchomp would have picked up 2 kills, which would have been cool. But I mean, it didn't really do anything because Kyurem was not Scarf. But that was my thought process was the Scarf.
No, if it had been Scarf Kyurem, there was I don't know if
so
the Earth Tower would have killed Zeraora.
It was a roll. It was a roll. It was AV Zeraora, and it was a roll to kill because I had a lot of HP, and yeah. So, and then Scarf Gengar would have done a lot with Sludge Wave. So,
what was your Gengar's last 2 moves?
Energy Ball, Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I would say Tristan. For as good a battler as he is, he's very bad in the early game, and he constantly is finding himself like trying to pick up a game, down 4-6, and a lot of times he makes it closer than it really like seems like it should be. Mm-hmm. But I think if he can find a way just to take care of early game, like he's a solid mid and late game player. But yeah, he seems to start slow and then pick it up from there. So that's definitely my biggest criticism for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But solid one for you. I mean, you're back in it now. Like this playoff race kind of insane.
I think with that too, with starting low, he let his 2 like walls for Gengar especially just die, and then there was no answer for that late game.
Yeah, he wanted me to build with him, but I told him like I already knew what your plan was for building, so I'm like, I'm like I could maybe look at your sets, but I don't want to help you build.
Yeah, the one I'm really proud about, me and Slink came up with it together, but actually me and Chris made it together, and then Slink looked over it, and we thought it was really cool. I had a lot of fun with the Grimmsnarl set. I was very, very I was Fire Punch was my last move for the Sizzler.
Yeah, for just in case Mega Sizzler
it showed up. We all were like looking at it, and I was like, I don't think Mega Sizzler shows up because my team handled it so well, and I had a Celesteela. So that's why it was.
And it did.
Yep, and that's also, I love the Grimstar with the Roselli and killing or almost killing the Tapu Koko.
Yeah, doing a fuckload to the Koko.
Mm-hmm.
He had some HP, and I think it was like, I don't think if it killed, it was like an 18%, so I wasn't mad that it didn't kill, but like, I think I got a decent roll. I think it was like a mid to like a low mid roll, but it was good. I did a lot of damage, so I was really happy with it. Grimstar. Go ahead.
Why has Mega Caesar been to 3 games?
Yeah, that's another thing. I think we need to talk about that. I went to visit him for those of you that don't know.
Yes,
we talked about that in the car. Why has Mega Scizor been to 3 games?
Sid Race has been to 1.
This team, it's weird. It's very weird.
I'm gonna do a little special.
Arcanine has only been to 2 for me.
Yes. So I actually have a little thing that I want to do. Sorry, I didn't tell you guys beforehand. I'm gonna go to the rosters page here, right? And we're gonna kind of. I'm not gonna like super go over everything, but
the Forgotten Children.
Yes, the Forgotten Children. But we're gonna go over a little bit. What I want to do is, because we only have 2 games left until playoffs. I want to get through a little bit of people. We had upsets and stuff last time, but this one I want to go. We might not do everybody just because we don't think everybody's going to make playoffs. Obviously, like Steph and Aaron, we're not going to go over them. But,
I think we go through top 9.
Top 9 for sure. But I want to do surprise MVP for playoffs per team. So I want to see a Mon that maybe hasn't been doing the greatest, or maybe hasn't been like super relevant but has been there. But I want to see like your guys' thoughts on like, I'm not going to go with everybody. I'm going to give some people, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to like go over 6 of us on one team for 9 teams.
Yeah.
But I want a surprise MVP. And for me, I want to see Tristan. I want to see this Mega Scizor do some work in playoffs. This was a top draft pick for you. And I think Tristan definitely slides into playoffs, even if like, I hope he doesn't have this slide trend that he has gone on. I think he will pick it back up towards the end. I think he'll win his last 2, actually, my prediction there. But I'm going to take Tristan, and I'm going to say that this Mega Scizor picks up at least 5 to 6 kills in playoffs and rolls him through 1 or 2 wins. So I want to see that happen. I want to see, like, I'm just giving a best case scenario. It might not happen at all, but I want to see that happen. Like, if anything happens, I want to see this Mega Scizor go up. So feel free to take anybody if you guys want, like, if Slink or Mystery or Will wants to take somebody or something that they think could be relevant.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see Dragapult do something.
It's never gonna happen.
Chris, come on, man.
I drafted
one pick and it's 1 in 6.
so I could sack him every game.
No shit. It's 1 in 6. You brought it to 8 games and it's died 6 times.
Well, Tristan, I will say this because I know Chris. When Chris looks at Dragapult,
Mega Pinsir was sitting 17 and 3.
I know this sounds funny because Mega Pinsir's right there, but when he sees Dragapult, he feels like he has to set up with it. I will say that. He always wants to click the setup button, even though when sometimes you can just literally click the boom button and do a lot of damage. But I know Chris is like really, really relevant. Like he wants to click DD and get sweep. He like wants to sweep with this thing when it doesn't need to sweep necessarily all the time. It's just here to like pick up a kill here and there, you know?
No, it's a chip momentum mon.
Mm-hmm. But so Slink has Dragapult. I have Mega Scizor. Mystery, what is your shout out? One mon that you think will make a difference in playoffs that hasn't maybe been as relevant.
Can I pick myself? Like, can I pick a mon on my team?
I would prefer you not, but you can't. Like, you can give to us too. Give us one on yours.
Something else, but I would also want to mention just someone on my team.
I'll pick someone on your team, Mystery. How about that?
Okay. All right, but you know what? Then I'll pick somebody on your team because I think this is who I was thinking about anyway. I think if I'm not going to win it all, I think Weavile will be the driving force of Will's playoff run. It only has 7 kills right now, but that mon is like, there's some mons I consider like playoff Pokemon, and that's one of them where it's just so fucking good. And I don't know, like it's very versatile, like SD, Scarf, Banded, Boots. It can do a lot, and I think it ends up with at least 8 kills in playoffs if he makes it.
You guys can't see my you guys can't see my face right now, but yeah, I agree.
I'm sure you agree.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wanted to pick a team I thought could win, like has a good shot at winning the title and a good Pokemon, so that makes sense to me at least.
Well, we can do 2. We can go back around because we have plenty of time. So we'll go back to Will.
Well,
and then
we
gotta
get
more.
Chris's first.
Oh,
No,
we want to do Will? Will was next.
Will.
Will was next. Will was next.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah, no.
here's what I'll say. You're looking at Mystery's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know this man hasn't been on his team for the whole season, but he's got a 2-2 Nihilego. That's been
Bro, literally that was the one I
Yes.
was gonna say. Will, we on the same
And
wavelength right now? Yes, sir.
It has
Nihilego
one of the most
is-
potent setup options that we see like currently. And I know Mystery got robbed out of it one game already with like the power herb set.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, the
I would
meteor
definitely
being
watch out
missed.
for that mon, especially with its special bulk and stuff like that. I think that's totally a mon that could take Mystery probably to like a runner-up finish.
I fucking hate you. Jesus
Yeah, I
Christ,
wonder
I
who the
hate you so
champion
much.
is.
Well, I will say too. That is the one thing I wanted to point out too for Mystery. The Nihilego. Will kind of said it, but and then we'll go on to Chris. But people forget that Mon is crazy, specially bulky. That Mon is nutty, specially bulky. It is quad weak to ground, which really sucks in draft, but I feel like it overcomes that. Yeah, the X-Kitcher right there. But I think it could be like a really cool like weakness policy rock polish set. Like I know I always say those kind of things. It's a James thing, but it is a very, very cool weakness policy popper with such great spadef. Popping it on something like a Slowking Galler. We see in playoffs, we see multiple Mons that can maybe hit it with a super effective move that can pop a weakness policy or pop something that we could see sweep
Watch it
potential.
catch this banded slacking earthquake.
It's dying, but I will say though, for the Nihilego too, it's just also like I talk about weakness policy and meteor beam, but it's also at the end of the day a one of the beast mons, so it gets the beast boost at the ultra beast and it can do its ultra beast thing. Woo! Ultra beast sweeps, we all love it. So yeah, I think that's a really cool analysis by Mystery and Will. I really do like that mon. I think it is a sleeper pick. But we're gonna hand this off to Chris, and I have no idea what Chris is gonna say. I kind of had an idea what everybody else was gonna say, and it's kind of been right so far. So I'm interested for this one.
I'm scared. All right, I was thinking Garchomp on your team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Already.
the unluckiest chomp.
Yeah,
The Chomp is unlucky,
It's gonna pull
yeah.
through.
Yeah, I said that in your game, and I mean it wholeheartedly. I've never seen an unluckier Garchomp. Now, do I think you've played super well with it? No, but it shouldn't have more than 1 kill. It should be at least like 4 right now, and that fucker just keeps like getting 2 hit, or dying, or missing Stone Edge, or
It'd be that way sometimes, but hey, Garchomp is the glue. I will say that right now for this team, as well as it's like when it doesn't do well, we don't do well, and when it comes to a game and does nothing, we do well. So, but I do think I can agree with that. I think the Garchomp can go around, and
I mean, it sucks because you like pretty much always put rocks on it, and it's kind of forcing that role sometimes when it comes. So just seeing differences.
I mean, that's what happens when you only draft 1 rocker and it's Garchomp.
all right, yeah. Well,
True,
I mean, I didn't only draft it. It's just the team changes happen to be that way. But okay, I'm about to throw something at you. I'm gonna put a 2-in-1 kind of, but I think the Nidoking Latios wave is gonna confund at least one person in playoffs.
I see the pun you made there of Wave on the rain team. That's
Got
funny.
it. And it's
Got it.
and it's Nidoking with Sludge Wave. Did you get that too? Yeah. See.
Yeah, I got it. It wasn't funny.
But no, I think that Nidoking is gonna be my big one. The Latios has 5 kills, which also most of them are against Slink, which shouldn't have happened, but
Yeah.
I think the Nidoking is gonna be a really, really big sleeper. But do we have as a group maybe one more, and then we'll end it up because we are at 39.
I got a dark horse one.
All right. Will's got one. We'll let Will end us today.
Dark horse pick. Taylor's Mega Diancie.
True.
It's 1-3 right now, and Diancie is totally one of those mons that has the move coverage, the setup options that I think someone like Taylor could get really creative with and pull a couple surprises.
That's the thing. That's it. That's if Taylor makes playoffs, because he has 2 very tough games to finish out his schedule.
I guess we can go over that too before we end, because we are at 39, which we're at a comfortable position.
Yeah, we can talk about everybody's schedules and like.
I'm not gonna talk about
chances.
everybody's schedules.
Well,
I'm gonna go to schedule and go over like stuff. I'm gonna go over the big ones. I think the biggest game is the one we've been hinting at the whole time and laughing about. But the monkey battle itself, I think that has huge implications because Chris is vying for a #1 seed because it's all down to differential. Mystery is there, but if Mystery, let's say Mystery wins like really like he skates by like a 1-0 and 2-0, and let's say Chris just goes on and like has some definite wins. We see a 5-0 and like 2 5-0s or something like that. We could see a Mystery fall just due to differential. And I think that's crazy. So both of them are going to bring their A games even to these last 2 weeks, even with this. Well, it's so close that they're going to want to anyways. A loss just means almost.
I'm just saying that Chris's schedule to end the year is Buxton Slink. All right. And I play Monster Buxton. He would have to pass me by 8 differential as well. Like, he'd have to hit. What, 9? Or I guess that'd be like if I win both my games and I'd get 1-0.
Anti-mystery regimen right now. We're starting.
We're gonna start that now. No,
that's always going on. What are you talking about?
I was gonna say, that's constant. I'm always getting slandered.
Oh my God! Shut up. Nobody cares. Cry more. Cry more. Cry more.
No, you cry more, little man.
Cry more, tiny morsel.
You know what? At least I'm the one with the balls to admit I'm anti-mystery.
Exactly.
You gotta be real.
How about this? I don't care about either anti-regimes. I don't give a shit about either, and I'll just antagonize either one. So that's where I'm at. But
yeah, fair.
I will give it. Chris definitely has a harder ending schedule than Mystery, and differential could come into play here, though. Let's say something crazy happens, like both lose to like Buxton or something, and I think differential can definitely come into play. Will has probably the easiest closing schedule of the playoffs. Just schedule-wise, I like
Taylor Monster.
Like Taylor Monster. Taylor can be a dark horse, of course. I think Taylor should not be taken lightly because he is vying for that playoff position. He is barely holding on to that last seed with Slink right behind him.
Bring some heat.
I was gonna say, I don't know about the easiest because you have Steph Taylor.
Tristan, I just want to say Tristan has Aaron Smith, which are currently 10 and 11 on the seeding.
Okay. I guess that would be the easiest.
Don't sleep on Smith.
I won't sleep on Smith.
I don't sleep on Smith, but he needs to stop changing his sets 5 minutes before the game. I think the biggest things to watch out for is Slink, Chris, and then big one to look out for as well is going to be the Taylor battles. Taylor's last 2 battles. I think those are going to be the big ones. Some exciting ones will be Buxton's last 2 games as well, which is Chris and Mystery, so those will be cool. But I would say those are like prelims.
Well, because here's the thing about it is if I win my game against Chris and Taylor loses either one of his games, he's out based on differential.
Yeah, because he could at most get to -2 if he were to win one and lose one.
Yeah.
Slink, I guess if he were to lose, no, actually no, because if you lose 6-0,
I'm saying if I win against Chris and Taylor loses either of his games, he's out.
No, not for sure. If you guys both finish 5 and 6, you both can finish -2, and he has tiebreaker. So in that scenario, he'd finish ahead of you. But it would take a lot.
Have to get 6-0'd by Chris.
Hey man.
I mean, but the thing is, he's not.
Chris, that's not happening.
Yes, it is.
That's what you. That's what you think until you see the +6 mega pincer in your face, and you're like, well.
Well, I have the tech for it. Don't worry.
No, but I mean, realistically, Slink doesn't get 6-0'd, and.
But I think that's why I think that the Taylor games are big. So I'm gonna say the 2 biggest games are Will Taylor and Slink Chris, because I think those are gonna be huge for playoff implication. Chris is gonna be vying for that #1 spot. Slink is vying just to get into playoffs. So Slink is bringing his A game. Taylor is just trying to keep it in, and Will is fighting for that #1 and 2 seed, because if either Chris or Mystery fall, Will can wrap it back up because he has tiebreaker.
I think both of my games are interesting. Like, definitely me versus Monster is not as interesting, but like Monster's, still fighting to make a playoff spot. He's still alive, so.
No, I think it's interesting. I just think it's like a little bit more flop-sided than the rest of them.
But I mean, me versus Buxton is a huge game because, like, say Will loses to Taylor, Chris loses to Slink, and then I lose to Monster. Buxton has a chance at the 1 seed. Now, is it realistic? No, but I mean, it's still possible. Yeah, base Buxton, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if Will loses one of those games, like let's say he loses against Taylor, Buxton hops him, and then if Buxton, let's say if Will loses and Buxton beats Chris, he already jumps from 4 to 2 automatically. So
yeah,
it would just be whether or not, and then that last game could be for the number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think we're definitely a week away from knowing if it's super interesting, but I think it's at the very least like something to look out for. Me versus Buxton's going to be a fun one.
Well, we have hit 45 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up today. We had a big group, so a little bit longer of a digest. We got to go over a lot. I'm really happy about that. We got to go really in depth with some playoff Pokemon. Your boy James here will be doing your power rankings for the last week. Mystery will continue doing them up until then, but yes, me and a little bit of Monkey Man Chris over here will put our heads together and make you guys a really, really cool power rankings, like a final in-depth big one. So it's gonna be really cool. So tune in for that. We might even make a video. How would you guys feel about that? What if we had a power ranking video? So
I'd be down for that.
Spicy.
Yeah, so me and Chris will get to work on that, and we hope to see you guys next time. Thank you, of course, to our beautiful, right here above me, gorgeous co-host Slink. I love having his face cam for the end of the season. It's going to get real interesting in playoffs here soon, so I'm glad we can get his beautiful face on screen.
I don't know if face cam is going to be a thing next week. We'll see how I feel.
Yes, because Slink, unfortunately, will be having wisdom teeth removed, so we
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Have any wisdom to begin with? Oh, can I get
it? Fuck you.
Well, thank you, of course, to our resident fucktard Mystery for joining us as well.
Hey, make sure you follow me on Twitter, but do not follow me at Mystery Was Taken 3 instead of E because I got suspended on Twitter today telling Terry Bradshaw to fall off a bridge. So make sure you follow me at Mystery Is Banned. Mystery is banned on Twitter. That is my new @. So you should follow me there. 153 followers. Somebody hate to see it.
Thank you to our second co-host in second in command. We're gonna get doxxed now. We're gonna be taken down by shingles now. Fuck, Mystery. So thank you to Chris, like usual, for joining us. He's always here, the Monkey Man himself, but making a name for himself. So
oh yeah.
Yep, there he is. He's quiet in the background. You guys realize, but he's quietly just sucking it all in and going his second seed right now. So crazy stuff.
Amen.
And then, of course, thank you to the anti-Will regime mascot himself, Will, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm the mascot of the regime against me?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly it.
I mean, it's your face is on the anti-Will poster, so
I mean, it's covered by a big no sign, but
Will, say hi.
Will,
say hi. We're gonna get a Will cam. Everybody can see you, Will. Say hi. This is the man that you all hate. Right now? Yes, they can see you right now. You're on.
Over.
All right, back. We'll get a little face cam of everybody except for Mystery because he sucks. But say hi, Chris.
Don't worry.
Say hi, Chris.
I'm gonna fix that.
Oh God. Well, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side, like usual. And please tune in. Actually, before we head out, I keep having ands, but give me a vote, please. If you're actually watching this, give us a vote. Put if you want the power rankings video, or would you rather a regular? So if you're watching this, go ahead and do that. So yeah, thank you guys. Catch you on the flip side, and we will all see you later. Bye.
Bye.